See you as well.
Tēnā koutou e hoa mā. Assalamu alaikum. It's a great honour to be asked once again to speak in this special season of celebration marking the birthday of the Prophet, peace be upon him. And I bring the greetings on behalf of the Christian community, Milad-Un-Nabi Mubarak, to you all. And I was very moved by Sheikh Jihad's words. In fact, we probably should have swapped notes before I wrote mine, because some of what I wish to say sits very much with what he has said. Last week, I attended the launch of a very significant document, the Statement on Religious Diversity in Aotearoa, New Zealand. There are lots of copies to be had. You can download it. I've only got one copy today, but it's something that every religious community, its leadership, should have. This was the third revision of this document, and it was written earlier this year in the aftermath of the terrible massacre in Christchurch on the 15th of March. That dreadful day was mentioned by our Prime Minister, the Honourable Jacinda Ardern, in her foreword to this third edition. And she said this: "That day will be forever etched in our collective memories as the day a simple act of prayer led to the loss of 51 lives. The day that families practicing their faith and religion in a place of peaceful worship lost their loved ones, and people in the surrounding community lost neighbours and colleagues and friends. However," she writes, "we also remember that day for the way New Zealanders of all beliefs reached out and supported the Muslim community in their grief. In the aftermath of this attack, New Zealanders reaffirmed our commitment to a culturally and religiously diverse society, a society that rejects racism, xenophobia, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism and other forms of intolerance." Now, this document is based on 8 statements or affirmations about the way in which our country of Aotearoa aspires to live with and to celebrate the wide religious diversity amongst us. New Zealand is actually the 15th most religiously diverse country in the world, ranked between Malaysia and Bosnia-Herzegovina. And we are more diverse than Australia or Britain. That surprised me. And we are markedly more diverse than the United States of America. These 8 affirmations begin with some of the basic human rights with which we are familiar, such as the right to freedom of religion, the right to safety and security in practicing our religion, and the right to freedom of expression in our religion. And then the affirmations, as they go through, shift their focus from rights to responsibilities. They're opposite sides of one coin, or should be. Number 7 says that debate and disagreement over religious differences is okay. Well, I'm paraphrasing it. It didn't use the word okay, but it's saying differences, debate, is inevitable in a religiously diverse society, and we shouldn't avoid it, but it must be done within the law, and it must not lead to violence. And then the final one, number 8, states that government and faith communities have a responsibility to build and maintain positive relationships with each other and to promote mutual respect, understanding and cooperation. This statement on religious diversity is a very important frame of reference for the kind of society that I'm sure you and I want to belong to. But you know, no matter how beautifully or powerfully worded it might be, a document by itself cannot bring tolerance or peace or unity. Only good relationships can do that. Some years ago, my wife and I moved into the first home that we actually owned. And we were really excited about this, and we looked forward to meeting our new neighbours. We'd heard lovely stories of when you move into a place and the neighbours come over with fresh food, and we thought, well, that would be nice. Well, the neighbours waved to us as they passed by in their cars, and then they drove into their garages and the automatic doors went down, and we never saw them. It was quite some time before we began to get to know them, and I have a feeling my neighbourhood is not much different from many other parts of Auckland. And I said to my wife, it's going to take a burglary to get these neighbours to talk. Well, it must have been a word of prophecy, because soon after there was a burglary, and it was at my place. And my wife lost all her jewellery, and some of that jewellery I had only just brought back for her from a visit to Iran. Well, we alerted the neighbours, and we all got together as neighbours and found out who each other was, and we formed a neighbourhood support group to protect us all from further burglaries. And then it all went quiet again. Life went normal again, and we went back to where we were. We waved to each other, and the garage doors were closed. Well, I suspect it's a bit like this with different religious groups. When there is an external threat, we all get together. We reach out to each other. Wonderful things happen. This year in Christchurch was a brilliant example. But when things go quiet again, or as normal can be, the chances are, the danger is, we go back into our little religious boxes and our little cultural boxes, and we close our garage doors on each other again. Learning about each other's faith and culture can lead us to better understanding and acceptance. But it's only personal relationships that can lead us to openness and unity of the sort we need in our society and our world. We need to put aside our shyness and our prejudices and our privacies and our fears and meet each other face to face and build relationships of friendship and hospitality, relationships of trust, where we can laugh together and, if need be, weep together, and enter each other's homes and each other's places of worship and feel welcome and safe. This is the sort of religiously diverse New Zealand that I long for and pray for. And only yesterday I caught a glimpse of what I was hoping and praying for. In the Anglican Cathedral in Parnell, not very far from here, there was a service of ordination in which 10 or so young women and men were ordained to the Christian ministry as deacons and priests to serve God through the church. One of them, a young woman called Sarah. Sarah has made friends with a number of Muslim women since the 15th of March this year. I actually take the honour of having introduced them, actually. And those women, some of those women, were there yesterday at the ordination service in a congregation of several hundred people. And those Muslim visitors, guests, came and shared in a wonderful Christian event, shared in praying for Sarah and the others who were being ordained, in supporting her and giving her gifts to celebrate her ordination as a priest. There were Jewish people there as well. What a beautiful sign of unity in diversity. That's what we seek, unity in diversity. Because unity doesn't mean uniformity. We don't have to wait until we all read from the same page in all the details of our cultures and our faiths. If we wait that long, we wait forever. We don't have to believe the same things or do the same things in order to be close friends and fellow travellers. All we need is the willingness to see beyond the differences, not to deny them, but see beyond them, to our shared humanity, our shared hopes and fears, our shared sorrows and joys, as human beings created by the one true God. And so on this day of celebrating the birthday of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and as we will shortly be celebrating the birth of Jesus the Messiah, peace be upon him, I pray that we will have the courage to go deeper in our relationships and not just close our doors again and hide in the safety of our little boxes. Thank you for the privilege of being with you all today.
I'll catch up with you soon, yeah? Thank you very much, Rev.Bruce Keeley. Up next, we have a nasheed presented by the group Burda Sharif, who are composed of Ruqayya, Haramain, Aliyah, Amna, Elisa, and Abira. So can we please welcome them to the stage with a loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.